Holy smokes. Hey, folks. How's it going? Obviously, for those who are here, you might be confused. I just did the Doom Switch, a Doom Switch stream just to kind of break up my day. Been a little bit of a stressful day today. So here we are back again with our weekly Q&A. This week we do not have any questions from our patrons. I don't think. I'm going to double check because I'm an idiot and forgot to put up the post for this week. So if you are a Patreon backer and didn't get a chance to ask your question this week, I greatly apologize. I'm going to put up a Q&A thread for Thanksgiving week next week, like right when I'm done with this stream. So you guys have a full week, if you're a Patreon backer, to get your questions in. Holy crap, we have another $20 backer. Nice. Man, really appreciate it. All right, let me just look at our post quick. I don't think that there was a new Q&A or a question asked even from the last week that we didn't answer. Nope. So, yeah, so it's all on you guys. Whatever you guys want me to talk about. So the first question from GU King of Heart. Why do you worry that there's going to be no games for Switch in 2018? I don't worry that there's not going to be any Switch for... My only worry for 2018 is that we're not going to have as big of games coming out in 2018 as this year from Nintendo. I think game-wise, we're going to have even more games than ever. I think third parties are going to be all up on the Switch, and we're going to see a renaissance of third-party support in 2018. And I think indie games are going to continue to be great. The third-party games are going to continue to be great. I mean, look at just this week. We had a string of excellent third-party games, you know, starting with Doom last Friday to L.A. Noire and, oh, man, the Batman Telltale game, Rocket League, now Skyrim today. And all of these have been excellent, like excellent top-tier port jobs. Awesome stuff. And I think that's going to continue in 2018, and it's going to be even more extreme. We're going to get so many third-party games. But it's really hard to top a year where you have Mario Kart, even though it's a port, Mario Kart, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, a new IP in ARMS, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, all of those games coming out in the same year. It's going to be hard for Nintendo to top that. Now, Pokemon and Metroid would obviously be big gets for 2018, but so far, the only games we know for sure, quote-unquote for sure, are coming in 2018 is a Fire Emblem game, which has a tentative 2018 release, Yoshi, Kirby, and unfortunately, like those three titles from Nintendo aren't like groundbreaking titles like a Zelda or a Mario game is. So, yeah, I mean that's all we know. Obviously, there's rumors of like an Animal Crossing and blah 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 blah. But yeah, so my worry isn't so much that there's not going to be games. It's just that we're not going to have the big games. It might not even need the big games. But, yeah, that's all. I don't actually think there's going to be, like, no games for Switch. Come on. There's going to be more games for Switch. There's going to be a lot of third parties. I've been saying it for a long time. 2018 is the year of the third-party games on Switch. And Nintendo will be back out in 2019 firing with, like, a bunch of top-tier franchises. In my opinion. Anyways. Now I got to find my spot in the chat. Let me, So, man, this chat's really confusing me. I'm gonna leave it open here in case we get a super chat on this one screen, because super chats pop up down in this menu. I'm actually gonna open our live chat in another place that gives me a better perspective on it. Gaming.youtube.com/Nintendo Prime YT/live. That actually has a lot better live chat. Let me get back up to the question I was at. All right, there it is. So scrolling down, next question. Have I played ARMS with the new character Missingo? Flipdo asks. No, I have not done that yet. So, yeah. Hello. I need to join your Patreon, Nick G. Sure, patreon.com/NintendoPrime. Bunch of different tiers there. Obviously, our $20 tier seems to be pretty popular, but we limit that. In fact, how many people out of... I only allow 10 right now. We have 6 out of our 10 on that. Our $5 tier is also pretty popular. That's early access to the podcast. We have a private live stream, which our very first one will be happening not this week, but the week after. Like not next week is what I'm saying. Like before the end of the month, the following week. Anyways, let's see here. Just trying to go through all the stuff here. Switch Stop Fan, how could I donate? There is a link down in the description. That is Streamlabs. Like I know it says Zelda Informer News. That's because that's used to be the name of this channel. So if you click on that link, it'll allow you to directly donate through there. You can also do super chats. If you look in the chat box, there is a super chat or become a sponsor kind of thing. Sponsoring us is like subscribing to us, like over on Twitch. You can also just go to Patreon. Obviously, I love when people support us on Patreon because you get something in return. At least I try to give you something in return for your support. But yeah, otherwise, super chats. I love super chats. Super chats are amazing. But yeah, we have a direct donation link down there through Streamlabs that will do it for you if you want to donate that way. Multiple ways to go about it. Let's see if we get to the next question. Nick G asks, what are your thoughts on microtransactions and where will we land in the future with these? They're not going anywhere. It's interesting I get this question now because on our upcoming episode of the podcast, I kind of go on a little tirade about microtransactions and loot boxes and stuff, but it's not going to be a tirade you guys are going to like. Because I don't rip them a new one and chastise them and blow them out of the water and say they're dumb. I know why we, as people who have been playing games for a long time, should think they're dumb. But they're not going anywhere. It's the direction of the gaming industry. Just to give a condensed version of the conversation we have on the podcast about it, basically, for me, it boils down to a few points. One, today's youth are growing up with microtransactions, DLC, and loot boxes. That's what they're growing up with. That's what my kids experience every day when they're playing games on their tablets. So there's that. And now they experience it in games on 3DS and Switch and Xbox. Like, it's everywhere. Like, that's what they're growing up in. So, like, stuff that bothers me because I didn't grow up with that kind of monetization strategy when I was younger. For my kids, that's what they're growing up with. That's, like when people say, oh, just don't buy the games. That's how you can get rid of microtransactions. That's how you can get rid of loot boxes. Just don't buy the games. There's enough people that are still going to buy the games. And it sucks saying this maybe, but there's enough people that don't give a crap about microtransactions and loot boxes. In fact, there's many people that will say they like microtransactions and loot boxes. And some of this obviously started, one, because game budgets blew up astronomically once games went to HD. And two, the base price for games hasn't really changed. I know you can get special editions and collector's editions and legendary editions. And well, I know they can nickel and dime you for those editions, which are really just tied into microtransactions. It's stuff you can buy in the game usually anyways, but $60 today, like when I bought Doom for $60, that $60 today is worth way less money than $60 was when I was buying Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64 back in the 90s. That $60 today is, because of inflation, is like not even remotely close to the value of $60 back then. So they were going to need to find new ways to monetize. And because freemium games came along with the advent of smart devices and really introduced the loot boxes have technically been around before that, but they weren't prevalent in gaming. So they're just kind of popping up all over the place, and it doesn't bother me. I think that's just the natural way video games is going. I don't participate in many microtransactions or anything like that myself personally, but I understand it from the business side. A lot of Western studios have to do it because they are beholden to their stockholders, and they have a fiduciary duty to maximize profits. And if they don't explore these avenues and try them out and take advantage of them, their stockholders can actually sue the members of the board and get their money back. So it's a lot of there's a lot of back and forth, and I have a lot longer talk about this on the upcoming episode of the podcast, which you guys are not going to like. I just know you're not going to like it, but yeah, I don't like them, but they're not going to go anywhere, and I understand why they exist, and I understand a new generation of gamers are coming up where they don't know gaming without it. And that's just the way it is. And so when people talk about, oh, we can just boycott the games, we can do that, it's not going to matter because that's what people are growing up with now. So they don't mind it. So if they don't mind it, it doesn't really matter. Like, you got to remember, I'm 31. I might still be ripe in my gaming age, but I'm on, like, the backside, right? People that are now, like, my children's age, ages 6 and up, like, that's, like, the new generation coming up. And I'm on the backside, and people my age, we're going to get older and older and die out, and the people growing up are growing up with this stuff. So it's not going anywhere. So I'm kind of just learning how to live with it. I think that's where I stand. That's why in my Battlefront 2 video today, I was more upset about the glitches than the loot box stuff, because this is the way gaming's going, and there's nothing we can do about it. So, and I know some people will say, "Oh, but EA's backing out. They're gonna try to balance it a little better." But reality is, they're gonna bring it back. It's gonna mostly be the same as what it was before. It's a PR stunt. They just wanted some positive press heading into launch. Battlefront 2 is still going to have loot boxes. Still has loot boxes in the game. Just now you can only get them through the game at launch. They haven't adjusted any of the stuff, so it's still like nearly impossible to get Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker. It just is what it is. Nothing you can really do about it. That's the way the industry is going, and I know sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow, but Nintendo's going to be there too. Nintendo's doing DLC now. They have loot boxes in Fire Emblem Heroes. They have microtransactions in some of their games. Like, Nintendo's already like heading in that direction. They're going to be jumping on board. You don't see it. You know, I know they got a lot of praise for, like, you know, here's Super Mario Odyssey with no microtransactions, no this, no that, like, single player game. Oh my gosh, Nintendo's going against the grain. That's year one of Switch, because they needed to build up some positive goodwill for Switch. Now that they have that, you're going to start seeing a lot of this microtransaction-y and loot box stuff like start seeping into their games more over the rest of the Switch era. It's going to happen because Nintendo likes money. We got to remember, video games is a for-profit like ideal. They exist to make money. So Nintendo, if they see an opportunity to make more money by introducing a loot box system or microtransactions, they're going to do that, especially now that they have the goodwill of gamers right now. So, yep. I don't know if that... I guess that answers your question, my thoughts on microtransactions and stuff. Let me see. Mark Reamer wants to know my thoughts on LA Noire, Doom, and Skyrim on Switch. I've only played Doom out of the three. Doom is fantastic. LA Noire looks like LA Noire. See, I own LA Noire on PC. Everything I've seen of it looks like LA Noire. It's like the same game. A few touch controls. Looks great. I mean, it's LA Noire. I think LA Noire is an extremely underrated game from Rockstar. And Skyrim, I haven't played it, but from what I have seen of the video comparisons by like Digital Foundry and everything, like it's the remastered version of the game. They're not calling it the remastered version, maybe because it doesn't have mod support. I don't know, but it's definitely the remastered version of the game. And believe it or not, it compares very, very well to the PlayStation 4 version. So that's really interesting. Like, it's actually, I mean, it's an old gen game, so like maybe it's not that interesting, but yeah, I mean, they're good ports, but they're from older generations. Like, Doom is the most impressive port of the three to me because that's a current gen game. Let's see here. Mr. Amazio says, have you played Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? Nope. And I will not be playing them. Let's see. Is there any way you could donate using Google Play cards? I don't even know what those are. So try. I have no idea. I'm assuming those are gift cards or something. Let me see. Geo King of Heart, do you think Smash, Pokemon, and Metroid could top it? Or could top 2017? If it's a brand new Smash game, if we're talking about a brand new Smash game and not a port, then Smash plus Pokemon would be a pretty big deal. Metroid, here's a fun fact. Metroid sells less than Splatoon does. So, like, as hyped as people are for Metroid Prime 4, and as much as people are all excited about it, like, it's actually a small amount of people. Metroid games only sell, like, a couple million copies. They barely sell more than ARMS sells. So, like, that's not a game that's really going to help boost sales much. But Smash can. Pokemon's, like, one of the best-selling games Nintendo can throw out there. So that definitely would help. And I know they're trying to get Pokemon out there, and it sounds like Nintendo is, like, pressuring Game Freak to try to get it out in 2018. Probably because Nintendo doesn't have, like, a really top-tier seller ready for holidays next year, or they don't think they will. You know, they don't want to have to, like, push Metroid out sooner, or, like, I don't think Metroid's coming next year at all, to be honest. But I think the wild card is whatever Retro Studios is working on. We have no idea. I am hoping it's a new IP that just blows our minds. But yeah, that's a wild card because they've been working on a game for years, and we still don't know what it is. They could whip that out whenever. So don't know what it is, but I'm pretty excited to find out what they're making. Flipdo says, what are my thoughts on FIFA 18 on Switch? I really believe it's going to skyrocket on holidays. It's a quality game. If you just want some portable FIFA, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's 60 FPS. It plays well. Missing some features, but it is what it is. I think as of now, you still can't play with your friends online. To me, that's a pretty big deal. That was true with NBA 2K18 for a while too, but they patched it in. So now with NBA 2K18, you can play with your friends online. And it's going to be $30. It is the only version of FIFA getting discounted this holiday. So with a bunch of people buying new Switches, it's possible that they decide to pick up a cheap copy of FIFA. But we'll see. I don't really know if it's going to fly off shelves. As I said, it's a quality game. It's just not FIFA 18. It's basically an older version of FIFA, but it works, and people are going to enjoy it. So, yeah. I mean, if they did that kind of treatment to Madden, I probably wouldn't buy it, and I buy Madden all the time. So, I don't know. Let's see here. Have you seen the Son of a Glitch video for Super Mario Odyssey? Showcases some crazy glitches. Nope, Triangular Fish, I have not. Haven't had a chance yet. But I do know that I know that video. It's like sitting in my feed to watch. I just haven't watched it yet. Let me see. Ooh, that was a big jump and stuff here. So let me. What is Gawkbox? Gawkbox.com/Nintendo Prime. If you open it up on your mobile device, it lets you like download apps and games and try things out. That cost you absolutely nothing, and the companies that run those apps will then donate money to me, whatever amount it is, 50 cents, 25 cents, $1, etc. Basically, it's a way for you to donate without spending any money. Yeah, I don't advertise it very often, but I do have a link to it if people would like to do that. I have to check Gawkbox. I think I have like 40 or 50 bucks just sitting on Gawkbox right now. Mark Greenberg, what are my plans for streaming videos over Thanksgiving? Are videos going to slow down? Will there be no stream Wednesday for you to make food, etc.? All right. I don't. I should plan that far ahead, but I really don't. So the plan right now is obviously nothing's going to change. I'm not cooking food for Thanksgiving. Other members of my family are, so that helps. So basically, Thursday, the actual day of Thanksgiving, going to be a pretty slow day. I'll probably still get at least one video out, but it's, I don't know how many. There's not going to be a lot of news. News really slows down in the U.S., during that time. I'll probably get out like a Black Friday video or something. I don't know. Something about sales. Some of the best sales I think you guys should take advantage of. And then there's obviously on Black Friday, I might want to do a little shopping. I don't know yet. I might wait for Cyber Monday. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like my mics, the microphones I want to get to replace these junky ones that really were harming the podcast this week. I'm hoping to find a sale on those over this weekend. I would love to get them for under $100. That would be great. Because they're like the ones I want are like 150 each. But yeah, and plus I have to do some Christmas shopping, obviously. So Friday might be a little slow, but we'll still have our Q&A live stream Friday night. So basically not much is going to change. Only have some family plans early on Thursday, so. Let's see here. Raiko Chan, how do I plan to expand, or how do you plan to expand the content of the channel going forward? Wow, you guys, this is awesome. I'm not used to getting questions where people care about what are my plans for the channel in the future. Yeah, obviously what I do now is basically I get on, I search for some news that I have some strong feelings on, positive or negative, and then I report on the news in a video and give my thoughts and blah, 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 blah. Or I have like a random discussion video or a debate video, which I haven't really done like a kind of debate video in a while. I think I've only ever done 1 or 2 of those. I have this goal of mine. One of the goals is that eventually every video I make, I want to be on camera. I tested it a little bit for a week. Some people loved it. Some people were kind of, go back to gameplay. And part of that was because it's when I was on camera and trying to be more professional, as it were, I kind of lost track of my thoughts a lot because a lot of stuff I make is off the cusp. It might not be obvious to some of you people, but it is obviously to me because I make the content. I don't write a lot of scripts. And the reason I don't write a lot of scripts is because when I do scripted stuff, I want to be on camera. But I don't really have a proper way to set up a teleprompter right now to do that. Now, I know I can run teleprompter stuff on my TV, on my thing, but I can't, I don't have like I don't have a way to control it, right? I don't have like a controller in my hand where I can like stop it if it's moving too fast or slow it down or speed it up to keep the flow going in a natural fashion. Plus, people have noticed the few times I have had scripts, you could tell I'm reading, and it's hard to get away from sounding like you're reading something because there's times I want to. Like when I'm reading a quote in one of my videos, I want to sound like I'm reading it because it's not my words. But when it is my words, I don't want it to sound like I'm reading it. So part of it is that I don't think I fully need scripts, but I would like to have like a guideline thing to follow where like here are the points I want to hit on. And then like a timer so I know how long it's taking me to get to my point so I don't repeat myself more. Because I know sometimes some of my videos I get a little repetitive and say like the same thing 3 or 4 times. And I want to cut that out. I want to improve on that. But yeah, that's going to come once I start working on being on camera for like every video. There's some steps to that need to happen. One, I need to have an actual camera. Right now when you see me on camera, besides on live streams I use this C920 webcam. But when you see me in videos on camera, like the podcast or whatever the case may be, it's this bad boy right here. It's my phone. And there's a lot of limitations with the phone that are hurting me. I did put a DSLR camera, a specific type of one that I wanted on my Christmas list. Because my parents usually get me one big item per year, so I'm hoping they get me that. If they do, then you're going to start seeing the channel evolve towards that. And there's some other types of content I want to get to. As an example, I talked about this before, my series, Arguing with Myself. I've talked about it several times, and a lot of people are like, where is it? I have like all the footage and everything's recorded for it, and I'm waiting on one person who keeps telling me they have all the animations and stuff done, but they still haven't sent it to me. And if this continues, like if I get to the end of this month and this person still hasn't gotten back to me, about it, like I have direct contact with them on here or whatever, I might have to put out like a public call out, hey, I can't afford to pay anyone right now, but is there somebody in animation and graphic design that would like to work with me to get some basic assets made for Arguing with Myself? Because Arguing with Myself is a more, I don't want to say it's super professional because it's not. I don't want people to expect it to be as like high quality in editing and stuff as say Game Theory's little Deadlock show, because it's kind of based on that a little bit. I don't want people to start being like, oh, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be that high a production value. No. But it's going to be higher production value than you usually get from my videos. And because of that, I want to make sure everything from the intro to the outro to the visuals that are being used in it to all have that feel. Plus, I want it to have like a kind of a custom logo for Arguing with Myself. I want to start... when I have series like the podcast, I would love for there to be a custom podcast logo, but I don't have that right now. So that's one way I'm going to expand. And the Arguing with Myself stuff would probably be a once a month video, because it does take a lot of time. There's costumes involved, blah 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 blah, and planning, of course. Like I have a zillion ideas up on my whiteboard I want to get to, but yeah, my goal was to have this Arguing with Myself out before Super Mario Odyssey came out. That's how long I've had this footage ready, but. Hopefully that person comes through for me. Beyond that, I want to do more game reviews. The reason I don't do game reviews right now is that it takes a long time to make a game review. I don't know. Some people just say because other channels do it for free and they don't care if it's gets claimed, that's what I should do. And that's fine. A lot of those channels that do that, YouTube is a side thing, right? They don't produce the volume of videos I do on the daily. Even though this week's been kind of a slowdown, I haven't produced as many videos. I haven't been feeling too good. Like I feel fine right now. Obviously, I wouldn't be drinking regular Mountain Dew, which I never drink regular soda. But they have this holiday brew that's out now. That's a mix of Code Red, which Code Red is always my favorite Mountain Dew, and normal Mountain Dew. And you know what? It's kind of good. Obviously, it tastes like Code Red, but it's like diluted a little bit with Mountain. I don't know. It's not bad. I don't know. They're not going to keep it around. But, yeah, I have a plan. It's just where I go from there to game reviews to other things I would like to do. I want to bring Zelda Inquiries back. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it was a bi-weekly Zelda podcast. And there's some other things I want to do. I want to branch out and cover. I want to make Outside the Box more of a regular thing instead of it being random, like a once-a-week video. I want to start having like a weekly news recap. I also want to do a live podcast. So we'd have our normal Nintendo Prime podcast, which is pre-planned and has brings in all these people. Like we have a podcast planned 2 weeks from now that's going to have Rabid Luigi on, which is a big deal for us. Glad to have him on. He's worked with me a way long time ago at Zelda Informers, so now to have him helping us out at Nintendo Prime is great. But I also want to do a live one that's more of I gather some people together and we have a topic list that we're going through. On top of that, we're also directly taking your feedback into the show and making that every day. Not every day, once a week. I also have this idea. I announced it a long time ago. I don't know if we'll ever get to the stretch goal on Patreon. It's like a $500 stretch goal, so it's expensive. But where we do this 2 to 3 week live news show that I want to do. So again, this is kind of where I want to take the channel in the future, but we're always going to have the content we have now, bare minimum. There's always going to be voiceover over gameplay stuff, our podcast. That's kind of content I can guarantee is coming no matter what. But it's not where I don't want to stop. I have places I want to go with the channel, and we'll get there as we get more subscribers and the revenue rises to allow us to do more stuff, or we get more support on Patreon, blah, 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 blah. All right. Let me see here. Good question. Hopefully that answered it. Scrolling down. Jetty X7 said, "What is the biggest third-party game?" You know what, guys? When you ask questions, because there's so much chatter, if it's a question you want me to respond to, can you type at Nintendo Prime in with your comment? It just makes it stand out a little bit more for me to find it easier. Let me see. Jetty EX7 says, "What is the biggest third-party game that you think could come to Switch next year?" Kingdom Hearts 3? Assuming that comes out next year. I was going to say Red Dead Redemption 2, but I honestly don't think that game's going to come. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that could be a massive get for Nintendo. especially since they've had Kingdom Hearts games like on the 3DS and stuff. So it would be a very good get for them to have the third game hit on Switch, because there's gonna be a lot of people that be like, dude, I could take this on the go. Hell yeah. Let's see here. Let me see. See, it's so hard for me to find the questions. Oh, no! See, now there was a big jump there. Let me scroll down here. Switch Stop Fan says, would you enjoy different variations of the Switch, like a Lite XL or Lite consoles for the 3DS? I think a Switch XL needs to happen. And what the Switch XL is let me just grab my Switch to explain. I've explained this before, so some of you guys might know, but we have 43 people watching, so maybe you guys don't. So the Switch XL to me would basically be the exact same size as this. The difference is they would get rid of the bezel, so there'd be no more bezel, so you'd end up gaining like probably a full inch on screen size. It would feature a Tegra X2, which is more power efficient than the Tegra X1, allowing them to run a 1080p panel with the same power draw. And they would be able to boost the clock speeds a little more, allowing like some of these games that are 900p to hit 1080p in docked mode, and also the games that run at dynamic resolution on here to run at more often at the higher resolution. Like the X2, the Tegra X2 isn't really a massive upgrade. Like it's not like a next gen upgrade. It's kind of like a little half step. So, but I feel like that's something I want to exist. There's a lot of people that say they want a Switch Mini. I can't get behind the Switch Mini. I've never liked the idea of a Switch Mini. So, but there's going to be variations of the Switch. I think there's going to be, a Switch 2 or a Super Switch. Like their next generation system is going to be a new generation of Switch consoles. I just don't know when. Could be 4 years, it could be 3, 4, 5. I feel like this Switch is not going to last as long as people think it will before the new generation of Switch hits. But because they're using the cartridges, they're going to use the exact same cartridges for the new version of Switch, and all the games released. I basically think they're going to cell phone it up. So like the games you buy for Switch today are going to work on all Switches, no matter what version it is in the future. And most of the games released on those games will also still work on the OG Switch, but they'll be better on those consoles. That's my theory, anyways. Whether or not they're going to do that, I don't know. Let's see here. Flipdude says, what are my thoughts on Capcom's relationship with Switch? Complicated. I feel like Capcom was too afraid to commit, and now that Switch is successful, they're kind of scrambling, and they're like, oh man, we should have been supporting it the whole time. Oh man, we gotta get going. So they convinced Nintendo to increase the RAM, but then they wouldn't commit, and now they're trying to scramble to get everything they can on the Switch. So I think a lot of third parties are doing that. Some of them are understandable, but like Capcom had a history of success with Nintendo, so I didn't understand why they were so hesitant to support the system. But it is what it is. We're getting Ace Attorney now, which I'm all about that, man. Even though it's also on phones, I don't care. I'll get it on Switch. Let me see. SUCC me says, does Xeno have a day/night cycles? I don't know. I've never played a Xeno game. This will be my first one that I'm going to be playing. So don't know. I think so. I think it has a time in there. GTM says, at Nintendo Prime, have you heard about Super Mario 64 Online? The fan project? I've heard about the fan project, if that's what you're talking about. It's probably going to get shut down, but I've heard about the fan project. Let's see here. SUCCB, does Odyssey have night and day cycles? Yes. At least in the desert area. I can't remember if it's in all the areas. For sure in the desert area. I'm trying to remember now. I know the desert had day and night. Or maybe it didn't. Maybe it was just night until I did something and then it was daytime. So maybe it doesn't have day and night cycles. I don't know. Not really relevant to the game anyways. But Almost caught up to the beginning of the chat here. All right. Oh, here's a bunch of questions. Thank you guys for adding me. You really made it stand out. Switch Top Fan says, Edmonton Prime, do you think they will make the XOL Switch-like consoles? Already answered that one. Edmonton Prime, I think Mario Odyssey should have released in 2018. I don't. No. Mario Odyssey was very important for the Switch this year. Especially because they wouldn't have had a major game for holidays that moves units. They needed Odyssey this holiday to maintain that momentum. Nintendo fans will be split in half between Breath of the Wild and Odyssey for Game of the Year, which will give PUBG a huge chance for Game of the Year, even though it's in beta. What do you think? I don't think it matters. I don't think Nintendo should care. They're all about the money. Money. The awards are nice. Money, man. The awards are great, but only us as fans really give a crap about it. What matters is what's best for Switch, and what's best for Switch is that those two games came out this year. Nintendo Prime, which team are you on in Splatoon 2? Splatfest. I haven't chosen yet. I know it's fantasy versus sci-fi. I haven't played yet, so. Maybe by the end of the stream, I have an idea of which team I'm going to pick, but I'll let you know at the end of the stream. Koopa Troopa Poopa. What a name. At Nintendo Prime, do you think there will ever be an update which allows you to locate a lost Switch? Good question. The problem is right now the only way to connect to the Switch is via Wi-Fi. So if you lose it and it's not connected to Wi-Fi, I don't know how you're going to ping it. Plus, if it's off, I don't know. Like, it's easy to do that for phones, like Find My iPhone, or like the numerous apps there are to find Android phones, because the phone's basically always connected to a cell phone tower. So it uses internet to do that. TVs that have like the ability to like find remote functions on the TV, or like a button for it, the remote still has to be within range of the TV. I don't know. I don't. Probably not. They'll probably never do that. I think it's a neat idea. I don't think Switch was built with the ability to do that in mind. I mean, I'm surprised that it even has a Find My Joy-Con thing in there. Where like, if you lose your Joy-Cons, you can go in there and it'll make the Joy-Cons buzz if they're not dead. I'm actually surprised that functionality exists. So I don't think they're going to do that for the Switch itself. Let's see here. The Switch itself is kind of small. I guess. I mean, here's my Nintendo Switch. Here's my cell phone. I mean, it's significantly bigger, and I don't really ever lose my phone, so I don't know. Now, obviously, you can, the Switch itself, if you remove the Joy-Cons, is smaller. It's probably the size of some phablets. But, I mean, even still, it's pretty significantly bigger, and this is with a case on. And this is a S8 Plus, so it's one of the bigger phones out there. It's pretty big. It's pretty hard to lose this thing. I don't know. It's just me. I guess I don't think I'll have a problem with it. But plus, I usually, if I don't have it in the dock and I'm not playing it, I put it in a case, which I don't even know where my case is right now. Well, I'm in my office, so it's almost always docked in my office. But yeah, I don't know where my Mario case went. I mean, I got my games. I don't know where my Mario case. Although, speaking of games, I better put this in here before I lose it. I got the Mario Odyssey Switch game just sitting here on the side. I better get that put away. Don't want to lose it, even though I'm probably not going to play much of Odyssey now. I'll still collect some moons. I've got 70 plus hours in. But, I don't, now that I've beaten it and I've collected some more moons, I don't really have the motivation to just go for long sessions with it anymore. It's kind of how I get with games once I beat them. But I'll still play it once in a while. Let's see here. Some other people are saying... SUCC me, play Club Penguin rewritten? No. I didn't even like Club Penguin when I was around. Supermax64 says, what are your opinions on the Metroid franchise? I think Metroid, much like Castlevania, is a very mature franchise. There hasn't been a Metroid game that's released I don't like. Yes, this includes Federation Force. I've liked every single Metroid game that's ever released, and yeah, that includes Other M as well, which I know a lot of people don't like. It's a one of Nintendo's few series they have that's really for adults. I mean, I don't know why it would be M-rated, but I could see how like you could consider Metroid games to be like a more M-rated franchise, because it's just, I'm not saying kids can't enjoy it, of course they can, but I think there's a lot of deep-seated lore, just the way the world is presented, the art styles, like everything about it feels like for a more mature audience. But the way the game works and the kind of genre it's in is extremely niche, which is why Metroid games, like the best-selling Metroid game ever, only sold 4 million. Most of them sell under 2 million. So Metroid games are just not really popular. But they must obviously make enough money for Nintendo to keep making them. And I'm really interested to see how much money they're investing in Metroid Prime 4, because again, besides the first Metroid Prime 2 and 3 didn't exactly sell extremely well. But again, they kind of sold par for the course for Metroid games. Metroid games just don't sell well. I'm really surprised Nintendo has kept Metroid going all this time when there's been other franchises that they haven't kept going that were more popular. But hey, I mean, it's good for Metroid fans. Sometimes, Nintendo, I think it might have to do a lot with the female protagonist thing, why they've kind of kept it going. Nintendo likes having like that female protagonist on their, like on their shoulder, being like, hey, look, we do have a female protagonist game. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's good for Metroid fans to keep it going. I mean, I like Metroid games, so good for me too. Let's see. SUCC me says, are you going to get the online thing for the Nintendo Switch? The online thing? What are you talking about? You mean that Nintendo Switch online app? I don't know. You're going to have to specify what online thing you're talking about. The Awesome Peanut says, jump there. The Awesome Peanut says, do you think it would be bad if they make another 2D Mario game for next year? No. I don't think 2D Mario's dead. I think there's one of two directions they're going to go. They're either going to just rush out a 2D Mario game because it doesn't take them hardly any time to make one, or they're going to port Mario Maker, or they're going to make a Mario Maker 2. Mario Maker is very interesting because to me, Mario Maker almost killed the entire point of making a 2D Mario game in the future, but I don't know. I mean, 2D Mario games have always sold and always been massively more profitable than 3D Mario games. So, I don't know. I mean, they're probably going to make one. Next year, I don't know. Might be a little soon next year because they already have 2D Yoshi, 2D Kirby. So, I don't know if next year makes sense. It might make more sense in 2019, 2020. But it'll probably happen. Antonio Bingham said, do you think RE7 is still coming? Sure. It's a good Resident Evil game. So, I mean, they're still releasing like VR versions of it and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, why not? Especially since, Capcom is like, yeah, we got to start getting everything on Switch. I think RE7 could probably hit next year. As I said, next year is going to be the year of third parties, whether it's older games ported or new games releasing day and date. I hope. Cross my fingers, day and date. It's awesome we're getting Wolfenstein. I wish it would have been day and date, but it's okay. At least we're getting it. So, Could you show us your full physical and digital game collection? Sure. Won't take long. I only have a Switch right now. So, there's my physical. Doom, Odyssey, ARMS, 1-2 Switch. Plus, I don't have a box for it anymore thanks to my kids. Breath of the Wild. I'm really mad I don't have the box for it anymore. Digital. I'll have to slap my Switch in quick to show you digital. So let me get that going. Slide on my old Joy-Cons here. Pull around the Switch. I'll show you my digital library quick. Try to make this as quick as I can anyways. Alright. I'll go to all software here. All right. What is up with ARMS? Oh, okay. Alright. Alright. So let's go with I guess no, not that. This. There we go. So digital, I have Rocket League, I have NBA 2K18, Hulu, Splatoon 2, Golf Story, Fire Emblem Warriors. If you're wondering why there's an X here, it's because I don't have enough space to update the game. So I don't even have the 4.0 update because I don't have enough space. That sucks. Time to get another micro SD card. Let me see. Archive Bros, Mario, Sonic Mania, Double Dragon, Snipper Clips, Just Dance 2017. I do want Just Dance 2018, but I'll wait to get it. I used to have a physical copy of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Had to sell it for gas. I used to have a physical copy of that. Had to sell it for gas. Used to have a physical copy of that, and I had to sell it for gas again. So these 4 games I no longer own. These last 4. But yeah, there you go. I mean, not like the most amount of games ever, but more games than I thought I was going to have on Switch Year 1, that's for sure. Let me go back to this. All right. Super Max 64 says, "What are your opinions?" Oh, already read that one. Sorry. Let me see here. Bouncing down. SUCC Me says, "Do you think we'll get a gameplay trailer for the January Direct or a January Direct at all? Gameplay trailer for what? Specify." Mr. Mark R. Place, have you talked about any predictions for the Game Awards yet? I have not. I'm debating next week on the podcast if we should do a whole segment on predictions. This week, the podcast we recorded that releases on Monday next week for you guys, Sunday for people who are Patreon backers. We have, how do I explain it? We talk, 5J and I talk about who we think will win the Game of the Year award. But we only basically reduce it down to Odyssey or Breath of the Wild. We don't really consider the other games. So I think I might do a segment on the podcast that we record next week that releases the following week. So we can just have some predictions out. Plus, Eric will be there. Eric wasn't on the podcast this week because he's sick. So we'll have that all nailed down. We'll probably do some predictions during that and have a whole segment. Because, hey, the Game Awards is fun. It's an event I care about. So, gameplay trailer for Metroid Prime 4. I don't think so. I know the rumors say we will. I don't think we're seeing Metroid Prime 4. If we see it at all next year, it's E3. But I don't think we're seeing it in January. I think January we could see a Pokemon trailer. But that's only because Metroid Prime 4 is still listed as TBD, whereas Pokemon for Switch is listed as 2018 or later, which means they're far enough in that it could potentially happen next year. Whereas they're not going to want to show Metroid, in January if there's no hope of Metroid coming out next year. Untempered Link says, "Do you think Switch will get another 3D Mario to coincide with the rumored movie?" I don't think to coincide with the movie. I think doing any movie tie-ins with games would be terrible. Movies should be their own original thing. Stop tying games in with movies or movies in with games. Let the movies be their own thing. Yeah, so no. I think there could be an Odyssey 2. There's a Galaxy 2. But yeah, that's about as far as otherwise, if it's not an Odyssey 2, don't think we'll see another 3D Mario this generation. And again, depends on what's the generation. If Nintendo does this iterative thing, then sure, of course we will. But that's because Switch will just keep getting new versions every few years. Watch the Emoji Movie. I'll probably see it eventually. My kids want to see it, so. 52 people are actually watching right now, Mark. SUCC Me says, watch Review Tech USA's shirtless unboxing. Why? I know what fat guys look with their shirt off. You want to know why? I have to look at myself. Look at these man boobies, this belly. I have to look at that myself every day. I'm well aware of what fat men look like. I don't need to see more fat men than I already see every single day in myself. And I've seen plenty of people at beaches and stuff that are bigger than me with their shirts off. So I don't need to. I'm not entertained by watching people take their shirts off to entertain others. Yeah. I mean, it's fine that he did it. It just doesn't bother me. Dylan Smith, am I getting Skyrim? Not right now. If and when it gets on discount or sale next year, I will pick it up. I want to own every physical copy of every Switch game there is that releases in the United States, which means I need to get Skyrim, but I'm going to wait till it reduces in price. I already own it on PC, so I'm not like in a rush to play it. Whereas with Doom, I didn't own Doom. So it was the first time I got to play it was on Switch. So cool. You should delete 1-2 Switch for ARMS. Nope. I love 1-2 Switch, man. It's fun. Let's see here. I shouldn't say love. I like 1-2 Switch. Mac the Knife says, do you think Platinum will announce Bayonetta 1 and 2 early next year for the Switch? No. Nope. I don't even think Bayonetta 1 and 2 are going to come to Switch unless they're going to announce Bayonetta 3. And they're going to announce Bayonetta 3 first and then like kind of tag on at the end, by the way, we're going to bring Bayonetta 1 and 2 to Switch before Bayonetta 3 comes out. So, yeah. So the only way they're announcing it is if you think they're going to announce Bayonetta 3, in my opinion. Nintendo Prime, watch Thor Ragnarok. I want to watch Thor Ragnarok. I want to go to Thor Ragnarok right now, but my fiance isn't home. So, hopefully tomorrow I'll get to go. I might be able to find a time tomorrow that works to go, but we'll see. Watch Justice League. I probably will. I know it's not reviewing well, but hey. I like bad movies, so I might end up liking it. Oh, let's see here. Why is your most popular video My Body Is Ready? 1, it's one of the first uploads that we ever did. 2, you know how like everyone's like, oh, my body is ready, or my body is Reggie, and all the memes that exist. We were the first people to basically do that back at Zelda Informer. We created it. It is one of the only things that we could say, yeah, we created that. Our video on it made it into a meme. So that's why it's our most viewed video. And it's going to be for some time. I don't foresee us getting another video with over 1 million views. I mean, if we get lucky 5 years from now, maybe we'll be popular enough where we're starting to get videos that high, but let's see here. How far am I in Fire Emblem Warriors? I almost have my second illustration. I don't even know what that means. I am, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 stages in, somewhere in there. Not too far. I kind of play that sparingly on the side. I enjoy the game. I am playing it. But there's so many games coming out all the time that, yeah, I just kind of I just kind of keep flip-flopping around playing different games. So it's in the rotation still. It's in my rotation of games I'm playing. Let's see here. Let's see, I'm just kind of going down. Not seeing any more questions. Is Doom worth it? Daily Me 3. Doom is definitely worth it. I know it's 30 FPS over 60 FPS. I know the resolution's lower. Blah, 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 blah. It is so good. You don't believe me? Review Tech USA loves it. And he's a PC gamer. So I don't know if you care about his opinion, but basically the general consensus of Doom is that it's really damn good on Switch. If you don't own it and you want the convenience of TV and portable, get it. It is so good. Doom is just a very good game on its own, and it's the worst version of Doom, the sacrifices for it are not only understandable, they were the correct sacrifices to make it still feel like Doom. Just don't turn off chromatic aberration. Leave that setting as on, because that's when you start noticing, oh yeah, this is 30 FPS. With that setting on, man, I mean, the game is so silky smooth. Let me see here. And yes, you can turn off a setting in the game, just like on PC. Kind of cool, huh? Even though it's a setting that you really shouldn't turn off. What's my favorite game right now for Switch? Oh, man. I haven't actually thought about this. I wasn't going to think about this till a podcast in December. Because Breath of the Wild, I stated in the past, is my favorite game of all time. So it's easy for me to default say Breath of the Wild, but then it's not exclusive. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, when I reviewed it at the time, I said it was the best exclusive game on Switch at the time. Doom has been so great. Obviously, Mario Odyssey is fantastic. It's a question. I don't want to answer that question right now. I really don't. I'm going to wait till we have a bigger podcast discussion on it towards the end of the year when we could talk about, hey, what's the best Switch game from this year? Let's see here. SUCCME says, do you like the Minions? The correct answer is no. I do. Well, let me bring that back a little. I like the Despicable Me series of movies. So Despicable Me, Despicable Me 2, and Despicable Me 3. I like those movies. And I like the Minions role in those movies. I do not like the actual Minions movies themselves that focus just on the Minions. Because I feel like their act gets a little stale when it's just on them. Now, my children love the Minions movies. And that's fine because the Minions movies are made for children. I mean, that's their primary demographic. They're not meant to appeal to me. But their slapstick humor, it's fine. I like it. I think the stories are decent in Despicable Me. So yeah, I mean, I like Sing better from that studio, Illumination Studios. I love Sing. I think Sing's very underrated. Let's see here. Jetty X7 says, what game do you wish you had more time to play the most? Are we talking about all of gaming or just Switch? If we're talking about all of gaming, I wish I had more time to play World of Warcraft. I know that seems weird because I spent so many years and so many hours of my life playing that game, but I miss it. My subscription was renewed because I played it one day like last week. I love World of Warcraft. I wish I had more time to play it. But if we're talking about just Switch games right now, with all the Switch games that keep coming out, I'm going to go with Golf Story. I haven't beaten Golf Story yet. I want to beat Golf Story. I wish I had more time to play it, but with all the games coming out, I keep getting new games. And like, Rocket League right now I have. I haven't played much of Rocket League yet, but, that's probably going to become a game in the future I wish I had more time to play. The only game that I seem to always make sure that I have time to play for is NBA 2K18, but I'm a big sports game guy, so as I'm watching NBA games, I kind of gravitate towards playing NBA 2K18. What's my favorite type of chip? Now, are we talking microchips or like potato chips? Very, very important distinction. For potato chips, which I assume is what you meant. It's tough. I really like the Lay's barbecue chips. Actually, I think it's these homemade chips. There's these homemade tortilla chips they make down at Casa Mexicana. That combined with their salsa or their queso cheese is just those chips are fantastic. And they make those homemade, which those are awesome. But we're just talking about like store-bought chips. Probably the barbecue Lay's chips. I've always loved them. Still love them. I try to avoid buying them because when I buy them, whether it's like the small bag, the normal size bag, or the family bag, I will eat like the whole bag in one sitting. Which I mean, I'm a big boy, but I just can't stop eating them. They're so good. Other Lay's chips, I can just have a handful and be fine. But like the barbecue ones, oh my gosh. And it's weird because I'm not really big into barbecue. Like, I like barbecue sauce, but I don't, regularly eat barbecue stuff. Let me see here. Just going down. Ultimate Keymaster. The way you recoil from what's your favorite Switch game might as well have been which child is your favorite. I have a favorite child. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't even admit that. That makes me a bad person to say I have a favorite child. Daily Me 3, can you please make a new Skyrim video tomorrow or something? What do you mean by a new Skyrim? You mean having Skyrim gameplay in my video? Or do you mean a video about Skyrim? Because right now I don't have a lot to say about Skyrim on Switch. It's good. Everyone else kind of has that covered. There's not really any news from it that I feel is worth talking about. I guess I could show off the Zelda stuff in it. I see. I don't own it. I don't own the game, and I don't have the money right now to buy it. If I wanted to. So, I don't really. I mean, I can load up my PC version of Skyrim and record some gameplay, but it's probably not what you want to see. So I'm not sure. Unless you just want news about Skyrim. I mean, I could do that, but I don't feel there's any big news out there. It's Skyrim. We know everything about this game. It's been out for 6 years. So, let's see here. Mac the Knife says, now that Nintendo has, again, I'm getting itchy on my nose. Now that Nintendo has all this momentum, what do you think can slow it down? What mistakes does Nintendo have to avoid? Game droughts, that's always going to be a concern. Game droughts, they got to have consistent big games coming out. They need, at this point, it's hard to screw up, but messing up the marketing message, like if 2018 comes and they start being like, okay, we got the hardcore gamers, now let's change our marketing message. So now we're being like, yeah, Switches for the kids, Switches for the kids, Switches for the kids. I think that's a bad move. I don't know if it would kill Switch, but it would slow things down. I feel like kids are going to want it because it's being targeted at adults anyways, because I know when I was a kid, I wanted products that were targeted at my dad. It's hard right now. They would have to release a bunch of games that are just bad. If they start, like, if Pokemon on Switch ends up just being Pokemon Sun and Moon in HD, that's a problem. Basically, they have to start really disappointing with software moving forward. They set the bar so high that, well, I don't think they can get back to that bar. They need a lot of their library to at least reach for it, at least try to obtain that level of greatness. And if they give up on that, and we just get a bunch of like Sun and Moon HD, a bunch of old gen ports, a bunch of what am I even thinking about? A bunch of Kirby, like 2D side-scrolling games, like, if they give us Kirby and whatchamacallit next year, then their big holiday game is another Donkey Kong Country 2D side-scrolling game. Like, that's a way they can start killing momentum with Switch, because right now, people are buying this thing for AAA games on the go, and if you're giving them what feels like a step below AAA games on the go, that's not what they want. Those games should exist, but that shouldn't be the main attraction. So, I guess that's what they could do to really mess it up. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's hard because these are things I don't think are going to happen. They're on such a good track. They made such a good reputation for it. I don't think that they're going to botch it at this point. Mario plus Rabbids is on sale this Black Friday. Should I get it? I don't even care if it's on sale or not. You should buy that game. Oh my gosh, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, one of the best games on Switch. It is so great. Oh man, I miss it. like the fact that I don't have my physical copy makes me cry some days. I really had an itch to play it yesterday, and I don't have it because again, I had to sell it for gas. I'm no longer selling games. I'm more financially stable now, so like these physical games, they're not being sold, but at least I hope they're never being sold. Cross my fingers, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye. But yeah, like pick it up. It is good. Let's see. Cordy's Batchelder says, sorry, I totally butchered that. What do you think about a new Earthbound game? I mean, like a reset for the franchise to make a great RPG game with that Nintendo feel to it. We have a great RPG game with that Nintendo feel to it. It's called Xenoblade! But if we're going to talk about just Earthbound, Earthbound cannot be rebooted, I don't think. I just want to see Mother 3 come to Switch. It needs to happen. In the U.S. SUCC me says, at Nintendo Prime, make merch. We do have merch. Believe it or not, we actually do have merchandise. I link it in almost every video we make. But since you don't think we have it, let me go to... my thing, and I'll link it in the chat here. So I'm just going to grab the link. We have t-shirts, tank tops, baseball shirt, crew neck, hoodie. We have a kids t-shirt, a kids hoodie, kids long sleeve, a onesie. In fact, I don't know, let me show you guys. Let me bring this over. See, we have merch. I'm gonna throw the link here in the chat. And I'm gonna show you guys. Hey, we do have merch. So, where is my OBS? OBS. I gotta drag you over here. So let me show you the merch. Where is the camera? Bam. So, oh yeah, that's right. The camera is. I'm just gonna shrink the camera. So yeah, we have merch. So when you go to the link, first you see a t-shirt, but then you scroll down and you see there's the tank top, long sleeve, baseball shirt, crew neck, hoodie, t-shirt, hoodie, long sleeve, onesie, phone cases, laptop cases, stickers, wall art, notebook, mug. And what's nice about this mug, when you click on it, there's actually multiple versions. There's that mug, and then that's just like a normal coffee mug, and then there's this. And this is the travel mug. And they're really nice. They're way nicer than I thought. They're on sale right now, too. Nice. $22. Cool, I didn't even know there was a sale. But yeah, like steel on the inside or aluminum or something. I don't know. It's really good. You shouldn't put them in dishwashers. I put this in a dishwasher and it survived, but shouldn't put it in dishwashers. The Nintendo Prime shirt. Oh, it's upstairs right now. The Nintendo Prime t-shirt that I wear, those all came from there. My sweatshirt came from there. Yeah, it's nice stuff. Even think the pillow, I think there's multiple types of pillows, different sizes. Yeah, oh, there's different notebooks. Do I have one of the notebooks here? I do. So there's that notebook, which is, oh, I don't have that one right next to me right now. And then there's the spiral notebook. The spiral one has, it's like lined paper. But yeah, we've got merch. You know, I need to get some more designs in there. When Arguing With Myself launches, I want to get some Arguing With Myself merch. But yeah. Yeah, we got merch. Don't you worry. It's there. I don't advertise it very much, but we do have merch. I don't know if anyone cares about buying it. I don't think we've ever sold a Nintendo Prime merchandise before. But let's see here. We'll unhide that because it doesn't really bother me. A video of gameplay. Okay. So you want to see a video gameplay of Skyrim. I'm assuming you want Skyrim on Switch then. Because I can make a video of the PC version. I just don't have the money right now to buy the Switch version. What are my thoughts on Obi-Wan? The YouTuber or Are we talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi? You're my only hope. What do you think is your favorite digital exclusive on Switch? Golf Story. Right now. Golf Story. Golf Story. Untempered Link says, do you fear Nintendo could mess up on the paid online service? I am afraid of that because they've never done online like extremely well. Or will they hit it out of the park like the rest of the Switch's life? I'm worried about it. The app isn't very good. Their ideas about voice chat haven't proven to be very well executed. I worry about it. I'm very worried about it. But then they do things like allow you to record footage, and now like Skyrim even supports recording footage with the capture function and sharing screenshots on Facebook and Twitter. Like, this is good stuff. But I don't think they get it yet. But I want to be proven wrong. I've already voiced all of my concerns for their online service several times. So, Koopa Troopa Poopa says, does the upcoming Yoshi game look a little bland in your opinion? It looks like a Yoshi game. I mean, when I say bland, it feels bland coming off of Super Mario Odyssey. But, I mean, it looks good. It looks like a Yoshi game. It's probably going to be a lot of fun. I won't knock it till I try it, if I try it. Again, I'd like to say I'm going to own every Switch game, but I'm not obviously going to be able to own every Switch game. So, if I have the money at the time, I will probably pick it up. It'd be nice if like the Yoshi and the Kirby games came out for $40. I don't know. It just feels like when you have like Super Mario Odyssey and Zelda, like those feel like a step below. Like they should be $40 games. And if they do that, that'd be awesome. I would love Nintendo to start doing various pricing schemes with their new games. I think it's something that used to exist in the industry that needs to really come back. Daily Me 3. I need to sell my beloved game for gas. 2017. Wow, I feel bad. Yeah. I might be a YouTuber, but I'm not exactly making bank. I had a quick stream about this the other day. I don't make a ton of money on YouTube. It's been getting better, but I struggle. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. So I need diapers. I need gas for my fiance to get to work. I need, to go pick up my kids from school. We just had the transmission. I talked about this before. The transmission went out on our van. We just had to come up with $1,700 to fix that. And we didn't. I actually borrowed money, and I owe some people money. And I already owed my best friend money that I borrowed from him for bills. So I'm still in debt to people. But we have our van back, which is important. We need that for our family. So, let me see. If you didn't know, there's a Splatfest, but he says Spootfest. Soon, science fiction versus fantasy. I'm well aware. I think it starts in like 40 minutes, I believe, and then runs through tomorrow. Yep, I haven't picked my side yet, but let me see. Wow, that's a very my wife. Well, she's my fiance. We'll hopefully be married next year. We haven't set a date yet. Speaking of haven't set a date yet, before I answer this really awesome question from SuperMax64, one of the primary reasons, I don't know, not primary reasons, we haven't gotten married yet because I want to give my fiance the honeymoon she deserves. The honeymoon we both deserve, to be honest, but it's not really about me, it's about her. My fiance was born in Russia to a person, her mother was not a good person. She was kind of let me just say it, she's a prostitute and didn't take care of my fiance at all. And she went on to have 2 more kids. And at the age of 5, my fiance was basically trying to raise a baby and a 3-year-old, or raise a baby, and a baby and a 3-year-old, something like that, all on her own. Her mom wouldn't change diapers, wouldn't potty train, wouldn't put clothes, wouldn't put food on the table. My fiance was going into town begging people for food on the street corners. Her her mother would have like sex with her clients in front of her. She has no idea who her dad is. And she hasn't seen her mom in a long time, obviously. Eventually, the government found out, busted her mom, put her mom in jail, took the kids and put them all in foster care. And she stayed in foster care till age 9. And then was adopted by her mom and dad, that I know, Dennis and Carol. And she moved to the United States, didn't know any English. And the foster care wasn't even that great either. They had to brush their teeth with just straight up water, which actually ended up harming the teeth more than helping. Like, it would have been better if they didn't brush their teeth at all versus brushing with the water they had to brush with there, because the water they had to brush with there was full of a bunch of bad crap. So they actually were making their teeth worse, but they were forced to do it. The foster care would be very abusive of the students, of the children. But, it was a slightly better life. They had food. They had some crappy clothes. They had at least a better life than my fiance trying to raise children on her own when she's 5. So after they got adopted, not like life was exactly easy here, right? You come from a country, she's super happy about being adopted. They also, after they found out that she had 2 sisters, they adopted those 2 sisters as well. She came here and didn't know English, didn't know a lot of school stuff, picked it up fast. She's a lot more intelligent than she thinks she is, because she thinks she's an idiot, but she's really not. She picked up English really quickly, while learning stuff, while learning our way of doing things, the differences between the metric system and blah, 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 and how we handle things. And had a hard life. And then when she was 16, and in high school and all that stuff, she was in band. She got in a car accident, or the bus got in a big bus accident. And my best friend was actually there too. He was in band, going to school at the time when this happened as well. And a big bus accident happened, killing people and all this stuff. And she had to go through all that. So did my best friend. I didn't know her at the time. But this is just like a continuation of, like, here's her experience coming to America. Like, hey, you feel like you're starting to get your life together, and then boom, here's a big tragic accident, killing some of your friends and stuff like that. And then, then she got pregnant at 19. Not really too surprised. She started having sexual stuff, like, in early teens. Not surprising. She came from a mom who was having sex in front of her all the time. Not really too surprising that she had loose morals when it came to that kind of thing. Got pregnant when she was 19. The person she got pregnant with kind of abandoned her. She had a child, ended up having to raise the child pretty much on her own. She was getting child support, so good on the father at the time for paying child support, but basically wasn't around. I met her when her child was 6 months old. Didn't meet her child till her child was 9 months old, so 3 months later after we were dating, I finally met her kid. And basically from that moment on, I became the father for that child. And now that child is turning 7 years old a month from now. Now the father is back involved in her life. He's not a bad guy. He was scared. I don't blame him, but at the same point, I would never abandon my children, no matter what the circumstances. No matter if I hate the person I had a child with, I would never abandon my kid, no matter how hard it got. So it's hard for me to fathom that he just abandoned the kid for 2 years. But whatever, I was there for at least almost a year and a half of that, and took care of the kid when it was sick. Took care, my daughter did everything I needed to. Took care of my fiance. She wasn't my fiance then. And then we had 2 more children ourselves, 2 boys. And she's kind of had she's depressed. She was depressed before I met her. She's clinically depressed, has severe depression still, is on medication, goes to therapy for it. Got even worse after having kids and having more kids, because she got postpartum depression and it just kept stacking on top of each other. Pretty bad, pretty extreme stuff. And she has high anxiety. And I always told her the one thing I wanted to do for her, I want to take her places. She wants to see the world. I want her to see the world too. But the one thing I told her is that when we get married, regardless of how extravagant or low-key the wedding and the reception is, or if we even have a reception, I want to make sure when we get married, I can take her on a honeymoon, like immediately after, that is, if it's not the honeymoon of her dreams, it's really damn close. She wants to go on a cruise. She wants to go on a cruise really, really bad. And she would like to go to the Bahamas. And I told her that when we get married, I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to take her on a cruise to the Bahamas, and then we'll fly back. So it'll be like, a week to 10 days, whether it's like a 3-day cruise or a 5-day cruise, then we'll spend a few days like in Hawaii, and then we'll fly back. That's what I want to do for our honeymoon. And I can't afford it. I couldn't even afford to get the car fixed. Like the whole trip, it's expensive. It's about $1,500 to $2,000 per person for the cruise, because I don't want to go on like the cheapest cruise out there. I want to go on a really nice cruise. Everything's included. There's a lot of activities and stuff to do on there, bands to see, comedy shows, water slides or whatever, crazy stuff that can happen on cruises. I want to take her on a really nice cruise. I want to stay at a nice hotel. I don't just want to stay at like the cheapest place I can find in Hawaii. I want to stay at a good resort, because she deserved it. She's had such a hard life. As hard of a life as I think I've had at times, like her life has been 10 times worse, and I want to do this for her. But I can't afford to do it. And my hope, I guess, if I get nothing else out of running a YouTube channel, is I hope to make enough money off of YouTube to do this for her. Yes, it means the YouTube channel might die for 10 days. I don't know. Maybe I'll hire somebody to make videos while I'm gone. Or maybe I'll pre-make some discussion videos and schedule them out while I'm gone. That's probably what I'll do instead of hiring somebody else. But, have an episode of arguing with myself come out during that week or so that I'm gone, blah, blah, blah. But that's what I want to do. I don't know if I'm ever going to get there. When you're to the point, you're still living paycheck to paycheck, having to sell some of your games just for gas and diapers and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but we're trending in a positive direction. So I'm hoping that at some point next year I make enough money to be able to do that for her. Otherwise, we might put off the wedding again another year. Because I told her I don't want to get married until I can do that. I don't want to be one of those couples that gets married and then we just don't have a honeymoon for years and years and years. No, I want honeymoon to be on the back of the wedding. When we're at our absolute high of like the perfect moment, like the most important moment of our life. I'm about to cry. I want to transition it into providing this amazing honeymoon. I don't want it to be something we just do later in life. Because then you do it later in life and that's just a vacation with your wife. I don't want it to be a vacation with my wife. I want it to be special, and I want it to be tied together with the wedding. So hopefully I get married next year. We'll see. Moving on now to the good questions we have. Supermax64 said, do you prefer gaming now or back then, and why? Man, that's a tough question. It's easy to say I prefer gaming when I grew up because I didn't know any better about anything. I had no complaints, really, growing up. NES, Game Boy, first experiences I had, awesome, mind blown. PC gaming, mind blown. SNES, mind blown. N64, mind blown. PlayStation 2, mind blown. Like, everything when I was a kid, it's like, oh my gosh, everything. Like, the Genesis, like, Game Gear, all this stuff is just so good. Oh my gosh. Like, you've so little to complain about because life is good. There wasn't, like, any internet drama because internet, I mean, yeah, I PC gamed and you get some internet stuff on there, but it's, like, only if you went to chat rooms. If you just stayed out of chat rooms, it wasn't a big deal. So, obviously, I think life, depending on how you view it as a kid, is more enjoyable when you're a kid, I think. But I think there's more great games that come out now than back then. But I don't know. It's hard. Like, I know some people say, oh, because of the microtransactions and the DLC and the online multiplayer, like, things are so much better back when you had your friends in the living room. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things I like about gaming when I was a kid and gaming now. And it's so hard to gauge because, like, life was so different for me when I was a kid and had all that free time to now when I'm an adult with, 3 children, trying to get a wedding and this, amazing honeymoon I want to have with my future wife. There's a lot more on my mind, a lot more responsibility. So, like, life is just different. And Switch came at the perfect time for that. And speaking of my future wife, she's calling me. I better answer this. She seriously just called me about Febreze. Anyways, yeah, so gaming back then, gaming today, I don't know, my life is so different. It's so hard to compare. All I know is Switch came at like the perfect time. Being able to game on the go. Well, I don't even take advantage of it. I game more now because of Switch, because of this YouTube channel, than I was before Switch. So, I don't know. It's hard. Hard for me to really say. It's hard to compare. Because you're not just comparing what the games are like, you're comparing what your life is like at the time when you're playing those games. So, let me see. The stream never ends. The Nate machine goes and goes and goes. I mean, how long is it? How long been? It hasn't been that long. We usually have about a 2-hour Q&A, so it hasn't been that bad. Am I going to get the Nintendo Online service? I have to, because they're locking Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8, ARMS. All the online stuff for Nintendo games is locked behind it, so I have to. So yeah, I'm going to get it because I have to. Don't really have a choice. Plus, I don't think it's fair for me to talk about it if I'm not willing to try it. And it's only $20, so it is cheap enough for me to not, you know, if I end up not liking it, oh well. I'm still going to play online games through it because I have to. The Derpymon channel says, what's my favorite game genre? You like platformers. I think my favorite genre is RPGs. But I don't usually have the time to play them anymore. So sports games, I play a lot of sports games, or action adventure. I don't know. I'm weird because I like everything, like strategy games. I don't know. I love like every genre there is. The one genre I'm not really big into is racing games. That's like subgenre of sports games. I'm not really big into that outside of like, you know, kart racing games I like, but like GT Sport, Forza, that kind of stuff. I'm not really into those games. Wait, gotta ask, how much does it cost to send in a broke Joy-Con? If you're sending it into Nintendo, you just gotta pay shipping. It's covered under warranty. Obviously, make sure you check your warranty information. It'll tell you how to file a warranty claim and stuff on your Switch and your Joy-Cons. Hopefully you kept that paperwork. If not, you could look it up online. How to get a warranty file, because you want them to know it's coming. You don't just send it into Nintendo and hope they do something with it. You have to file a warranty claim. And I believe you do have to pay for shipping. I could be wrong. I haven't had to file a warranty with Nintendo in a long time, so they might even cover shipping. Can we move on? This is making me sad. Talking about my fiance, yeah. She's had a hard life. That's why I want to do something special for her. Let's see here. Darren, your chats are being deleted as you say them? I'm not seeing your chats being deleted. I don't see them being deleted on my end. Let me check what's happening on the back end, on the dashboard area. I don't see any chats deleted on the back end dashboard area from you, Darren. So I don't know if that's just your computer doing it or what. So Seahawks 24 real good. If you left us for a week, I would unsubscribe. I hope you get the money to do it. You shouldn't even stress about your channel. We will understand. Yeah, I still have to stress about my channel even when I vanish, because the way YouTube's algorithm works is if I vanish and don't make a video for 10 days or 11 days or however long it takes for me to start making videos again, it could kill my channel. So, yeah, I would still have to have content come out, but it's one of those things. I would like to have to stress about that, because that means I have the money and I've already purchased the cruise line tickets, the airline tickets, the resort stuff, with additional spending money, of course, to go. So that means I've achieved what I want to achieve for my fiance. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's something I will gladly stress out about, because that means I'm where I want to be. Let me see. Jetty X7 says, Do you think Kirby and Yoshi will actually be good or rushed and a little easy? Kirby and Yoshi games are generally always good and always easy. That's just the way those games are. So I don't really know why I would feel different about them. They're supposed to be easy. They've always been like the easier of Nintendo's platformers. Super Max 64. What are my opinions on the Mario Striker series? Awesome. Would love to see more of it. I loved Super Strikers. I think that was the GameCube one. I love that one. That was my favorite one. So I would love to see that come back. Live stream Hotel Mario. I don't even own the system to play it on, so I can't. Darren says he sent 3 messages that were deleted. You're not sure why. I don't know why either. I don't see them on my end. Yeah, it's probably your internet. Yeah, I don't see them on my end to even approve. Because sometimes the messages get like hidden, and then I can approve to show them. Derpy my channel says you should get some mods so you can have a filter for bad stuff and make sure your chat is safe. The chat's mostly safe. The only reason I want like a mod would be to like if I'm playing a game and I'm trying to keep chat spoiler free, like having a mod go in there and delete spoiler stuff. But I don't think our chat's to the point that I need a mod yet. Not yet. Someday. If we keep progressing and we're getting 100, 200 plus viewers, I'll probably need a mod. I'm not emulating. Don't believe in emulation. I've talked about that before. Darren says, why is Breath of the Wild Game of the Year over Odyssey? Why is Breath of the Wild Game of the Year over Odyssey? For some people, it's not. It's a topic I talk about on the podcast, so I really am trying not to talk about it now since that podcast releases next week. But, yeah. I mean, for some people, it's not going to be Game of the Year over Odyssey. For some people, it is. And some of it's going to come down to, do you like Mario games better or do you like Zelda games better? Cool. The questions are slowing down. So since the questions are slowing down, I'll give you guys a few minutes if you guys want to answer some more, so ask some more questions. Otherwise, we'll be calling this stream quits here sometime in the next, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. You know what? I'll talk about this comment that just popped up because, as I said, I get notifications for every comment made on my channel, which gets a little annoying sometimes, but you know, it is what it is. It also ensures I catch things. And there's a comment. Oh, I probably have to approve that comment because it's not showing up. Well, let me go review it. Well, maybe the person deleted it. It was someone who said that I released a video just to get clicks. And they were talking about my EA Star Wars video. And what's funny is, if I released a video to get clicks, why wouldn't I have released this video days ago? Like, it's a little late to the party. Only has 400 views. It's not performing well. I released it because I wanted to make a video on it. It took me like 3 days to make this video. And yeah. I mean, if I'm doing videos just to get clicks, I would be releasing like every piece of news out there. If I just want to get clicks, I would just go to like Nintendo Everything, go down the list and be like, oh, here's a new trailer, here's a new this, here's a new this. Let's make a video on this. Let's make a video on this. Make a video on this. But that's not who I am. I make videos on things that I care about talking about, or news I think is really relevant to the audience. Like news I think you guys are going to care about. Like some of you guys care that Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year in the UK at the Joystick Awards. I don't view the Joystick Awards as being that important, but I'm also not from the UK. So, like, the Game Awards to me is the only Game of the Year awards that matter to me. But it is, you know, hey, it's got its first big Game of the Year award. First of what's probably going to be many. Get back to the chat now. See some more questions came in. SUCCB says, is it wrong to emulate a game which nobody bought on a console nobody bought? I mean, the sales won't be affected. I'm not going to tell you what's right and wrong. I just don't believe in emulation. I used to emulate games when I was a kid. Not anymore. Don't believe in it. You want to do it? I'm not going to chastise you for it. It's your choice. Do I like trains? Sure. Never ridden on one. Favorite Pokemon? Charizard. Where is my Charizard? Oh, I put him back up on my amiibo shelf. Charizard. What's the point of life? Don't know. I used to have like a very like a quick quip kind of answer to that, but I don't remember what it was. The point of life. Breath of the Wild Odyssey again. Not talking about it. How many notifications do I normally get? A few hundred a day. 600, 700. We get a lot of comments. A lot of them I just kind of ignore, but like there's certain comments I'm like, oh hey, I want to respond to that. Plus I get notifications every time like channels I'm subscribed to. Not all channels, but some of the channels I subscribe to like upload a new video. I get notifications for that too. Again, are we talking Obi-Wan like a YouTuber, or are we talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi? I assume you're talking about Obi-Wan the YouTuber. I haven't watched any of his stuff. God. The YouTuber, I haven't watched any of Obi-Wan stuff in like 2 years. Used to find him wildly entertaining. But it's kind of like a poor man's Etika, I guess, in terms of his style. I don't know. I guess their styles aren't exactly the same. I don't know. I think he's entertaining. I thought about contacting him once to get him on a podcast, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't have anything against Obi-Wan. Just I haven't watched his stuff in a long time. I'd have to catch up on his channel and see how he's evolved, what's changed since last time I used to follow his stuff. Why is Zelda 2 the best 2D Zelda game to date? Oh, Darren, trying to get me to talk about Zelda 2. I've already answered that question, actually, in a prior Q&A, so sorry, bud. Nice try. The Game Awards matter ever? Doesn't everyone just take them as a complete joke? No, I don't take them as a joke. I don't think the awards ultimately, like, if you talk about like a game's receiving popularity contest awards, it really doesn't matter. But I think it's important for the industry itself to have something like the Game Awards, because all other entertainment industries have like their even sports with the ESPYs and you got your Golden Globes out there and your Emmys. Like, it's important for video games to be respected in that way. And that's why the Game Awards are important to me, because they represent a reverence for gaming and a respect for the medium that often gets ignored by mainstream media. So, yes, in that sense, I think the Game Awards are very important. And heck, if I make a game someday and it wins an award at the Game Awards, to me, it would matter. And it might matter to the people who win the awards because it is prestige. That's why I think it's important to have an event like the Game Awards, the way that Jeff Keighley does the Game Awards, versus like how other places might do Game Awards. Favorite animal used to be an elephant. Probably go with the blue whale. Why not go with the biggest thing out there? Used to be Velociraptor, but they're extinct. So. What are my thoughts on Game Explain? Great channel. I think Andre and Derek and the crew over there do a really, really good job. There's no way in heck me as an individual could ever compete directly with what they do. Just can't do it. They're so good at what they do. They have such a fantastic team of people. That's why I don't make content like they do. I make content in the way I can do it. But yeah, I love what they do. I've been a big fans of Game Explain for a long time. I don't watch every video because I'm not interested in every single Nintendo game in the world, but I watch a ton of their content. Favorite YouTuber? Oh man, a favorite YouTuber. That's so tough. Like I'm tight with Game Over Jesse. I like his stuff. I love Wolf Den's material. I like Spawn Wave. Like I'm just going through one of those Boogie 2988, Switch Force, Nintendo Beyond, Game Explain, of course. The Game Theorist, love them. Science Studio, big fan of Science Studio. Jacob Zacharina, PewDiePie, CND, 5J, HMK. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's hard for me to pick like a favorite. Like my favorite tech channel is a toss-up between Linus Tech Tips and Jay's 2 Cents. Now, I do watch Bitwit and some other channels in there, but those are like my two favorite ones. I like Jay's 2 Cents personality better. I like some of the content at Linus Tech Tips better. Wolf Den's kind of like my favorite nerd channel. I don't even call him a gaming channel. It's a nerd channel. And then, Philip DeFranco is the only channel I follow for news. I don't trust any other news channel. So I like Philip DeFranco a lot. Mike Korzemba is my favorite NBA channel. I don't know. Like, to pick a favorite gaming channel is tough. But I follow a ton of gaming channels. And I like them all for very different reasons. So I don't know. I guess that doesn't answer your question because I don't really have one favorite YouTuber. Like myself, I'm a YouTuber. Do I use Blender? No. Do I use a blender? Not in a while. Last time I made some milkshakes for my kids and I broke the blender. How you break a blender with milkshakes? Another story for another day. But yeah, I need to get a new blender. What's for dinner? I don't know. I'm really hungry. I have not eaten dinner yet. I'm starving. What did I have for breakfast? What did I have for breakfast? It was a bad day today. I had sausage and egg McGriddle, add bacon. Now that's all I had. I didn't have the hash brown or anything, but that's still bad. The calories on that are bad. In fact, I think that's the only thing I've ate today. I'm pretty sure I didn't have lunch. Yeah, so that's probably why I'm so hungry right now. So I didn't even have lunch. I mean, I had a little bit of sunflower seeds over here, but it's kind of a snack. Most anticipated Switch games. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. I'm avoiding playing it and watching videos on it on other platforms, but I'm really looking forward to it on Switch. Let me see here. I wasn't throwing shade at Obi-Wan. I just haven't seen his content for a couple years, but I mean, he was entertaining back when I used to watch him. He used to do a lot of rumor stuff. He go nuts with it, but yeah. Hey, a super chat. From Josh Walker. $10. He says, I hope this helps towards the game fund or even the honeymoon. You shouldn't have to sell games. Cheers from Australia. Thanks, man. Thanks. I mean, it gets added into my the money I make on this channel for, that I get 2 months from now. So, yeah, thank you so much. Every little bit helps. I really appreciate it, Josh. Thank you so much for your support. Do I follow PewDiePie? I do currently follow PewDiePie. I haven't always followed him, but I do follow him right now. I don't watch a lot of his stuff anymore. I probably don't even need to follow him anymore. But because he's like the top dog, I'm always interested in like studying the metrics and what he's doing and how he's evolving his channel. And if I don't subscribe to him, I'll forget to do that, to check him out. So that's why I'm subbed, if that makes sense. SUCC Me says, I prefer your content over Game Explain. Trailer re-uploads aren't my thing. I understand. I'm glad. I'm hoping that I have people that prefer my channel over others because otherwise they wouldn't be here. They could just get content like mine, get news like that I report elsewhere, and that's fine. I really don't mind. I mean, like, they do a good job reporting news. I like Game Theory. You like what you like. I like a lot of bad movies, too. I also love the Zelda cartoon show. A lot of people don't like that. I like Metroid Other M. A lot of people. I'm kind of one of those people that I like things that people don't like. I like things that people do like too, but apples or bananas? That's tough. I like bananas more, but like when they're in like a shake, I eat apples more, like on their own, than I eat bananas on their own. But you take bananas, strawberries, throw them together and make a smoothie. Love that. But in terms of which one I eat more often, I eat apples more often. I think I like the flavor of bananas better, but I eat apples more often. You feel like MatPat makes theories for money. Well, it's kind of always made theories for money. But instead of, I mean, put it this way. Anytime we release a video, the goal of the video is to not only make something we care about, but to also make money. That's kind of part of the whole process. But instead of actually putting thought to him like he used to, like, I don't know. Like when he made his Breath of the Wild theory on where it goes in the timeline, I thought it was a very well-made video. Is it easy to, make a rebuttal? Ooh, we got a new sponsor. Oh, Josh Walker, your sponsor. Hey, Josh Walker, I think you are our very first sponsor of our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your sponsorship, in addition to your super chat. That's just awesome. We've literally never had a sponsor before, especially at least during a live chat. I have to go through to check if we even have another sponsor. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Getting back to this stuff. Let me see. Oh yeah, MatPat with the theories. I think he puts a lot of effort into it. Like his Breath of the Wild one, I think was good. It's easy to make like a rebuttal to it, but that's because Breath of the Wild is just really easy to like make a rebuttal to any timeline placement. I really like his theories. They're not always 100% like factual, I guess, because they're theories. I don't know. I think he does a good job. In general, he does a good job. Is my merch selling like God Church? We've never sold, like I have that merch that I shared with you guys earlier. I've never sold a single piece of Nintendo Prime merch. I'm going to check my emails right now to see if anyone bought it during the stream. When I showed it off, because that's how I know. I'm trying to remember, what email do I have it attached to? I think I have it attached to my Zelda Informer email, I believe. We have not sold any merch. So, no, merch is not selling at all, which is pretty normal. It doesn't sell. I don't even know why I put links to it on every video, but I just do it just because. Do I dab on the haters? Some days. I don't dab very often, but if I'm going to do it, it's on the haters. And no, I don't do it like Jake Paul. Jake Paul does it like every time he mentions, oh, I got to dab on the haters. I mean, only once in a while. I've dabbed before, but it's not something that I do a lot of. Let me see here. Play music. When am I going to bed? Not for a while. Probably not till after midnight. I still have to schedule some Facebook stuff for Zelda Informer. I need to make at least one more video for today to go out. And I have no idea what that... Here's confession. I have no idea what my next video is going to be on the channel. No idea. No plans for it. Go out and find something I want to talk about. Make a video on it. No idea what it's going to be. Oh, fun fact also today, we got a new $20 backer on Patreon, which is awesome. Brandon Wheeler. Brings up our total to $177 on Patreon, which is awesome. We're almost at the $200. Is there a stretch goal of $200? Or is it $300? I can't remember. I can't even remember what my own stretch goals are on Patreon. Game reviews. Is it 200 or 300? It's 300. So, yeah, we're over halfway now officially to our stretch goal on Patreon of $300 per month to get to start doing game reviews, I believe, right? Yeah, to do game reviews. So, the Mario Odyssey people are giant ones making. Oh, jeez. Yes, I've heard of Unowa Okakan or whatever. I've heard of the new character in ARMS. My ARMS just isn't updating because apparently I don't have any space. But let me... It says I don't have any space. I probably am literally out of space. Oh, I have space on my system memory. I think I have ARMS on the micro SD card. Let me go to archive. Maybe I could archive some stuff on the SD card and make some space for the update. Like, I could archive Mario Kart 8 Deluxe since I don't have that right now. I can archive... Well, that's on the system, so that doesn't matter. Anything else on the SD card? I can archive Double Dragon 4 because I don't play that very much. No, not Snurper Clips. I guess Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle since I don't have my game right now. Don't play that. And that should be good. It's going to free up over a gig, so that should allow me to update. I know I need to get a new micro SD card. I plan to pick one up during Black Friday on a sale. Let's see here. Yeah, Missango. I thought it was Missing No. When it first got announced, I'm like, what? A Missing No? Like, the Pokemon? Do I like Switch? I love Switch. It's in contention to be my favorite console of all time. In contention. It's too soon to say that, but I could tell it's heading in a direction that if this direction continues, it's probably going to be my favorite console ever made. Mania or Forces? Mania all the way. Mania is just a better game. It just is. Whew. Well, I wait for a couple... Well, no, it's 10 o'clock on the dot, so I think that's time to call it a live stream. What the heck? I just got an email about... No, I didn't just get that email? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. I am so confused. George. Who the heck is George? Why can't I see your email? Why can't I see your email, George? Oh, I get emails like this a lot. So it says, "Hi there. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll make this short so you can return to your day as soon as possible. I run the YouTube channel Gaming My Whole Life, and I'll soon be entering the world of podcasting. I'm reaching out to successful YouTubers. It's kind of cool when people call me a successful YouTuber. Such as yourself, asking if you accept sponsors or other business forums, where you can give a lovely shout out about the time I launched to your lovely subscribers. Apologies if you get emails like this all the time. I literally get emails like this all the time. But I thought it wouldn't hurt to ask. Either way, I hope they have a fantastic day and keep up. Yeah, I've never done sponsors. I did no. All I've ever gotten is like product to do reviews of. I've never had a sponsorship. I'm gonna actually look up this guy's YouTube channel. Gaming My Whole Life. I run the Gaming My Whole Life channel. There's no channel. Unless it's just My Whole Life. There's literally no channel called Gaming My Whole Life. There's My Whole Life. I don't get it. Like this channel the channel name he gave me doesn't exist, so sure. Oh man. You might get some Prime merch. Yeah, I actually need to get some new Prime merch. So the sweatshirt, I'm upset about this. I'm not really mad at my fiance about it, but she forgot to turn it inside out and she washed it on warm instead of cold. Because here's the deal, like when you have printed on stuff, even like this shirt, this is like printed on, you should turn the shirts inside out, wash them on cold, don't put them in the dryer. Well, she didn't turn it inside out. She washed them on warm and she put it in the dryer. And now look what happened to my sweatshirt. Look at my poor baby. My poor Nintendo Prime sweatshirt. Look at that peeling. That's just what happens with these kind of shirts. It hasn't happened with my like t-shirts, but it happened with the sweatshirt. It makes me upset. So I need to order in some new. So and like this is a nice sweatshirt. It really is nice and warm and comfy. I'm gonna have to order some new Nintendo Prime sweatshirts. Money, 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 money. I don't get like any discounts on that. So. Oh well, it is what it is. I need to get some more t-shirts too. I need to get some more merch up in here. I mean, like I love my mugs and everything. These are good and they last, but like I need some variety of a bigger variety of t-shirts and sweatshirts. What time is it where you are in the UK? It's 4 a.m. 10 p.m. Man, I'm still alive. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be signing out here. So thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. It's been real. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to support us, check out patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. A bunch of different reward tiers. A bunch of different tiers you can support us at that give you various kickbacks. Otherwise, I better get to work on one more video for today. I hope. I'm praying I get one more video done tonight. We'll see. Peace out, guys.